Liam. I am Brendan's cousin, and I am the best man. Before I get started, I'd like to say, Andrea, you look absolutely gorgeous tonight, darling. So really, I didn't think I was going to be Brendan's best man. For those of you that don't know, Brendan was Siobhan's maid of honor. I'm happy for all of you that Carolyn is Andrea's maid of honor instead of her brother Michael. I found it very hard to stay focused at the ceremony looking at Brendan in that bridesmaid's dress. He was absolutely stunning. I didn't know the maid dress was that big. So looking back, Brendan, I hate to say it, man, but I think Siobhan probably would have done a better job. Only 3 days ago did I think I have some responsibilities as a best man. I then found the guide to being the best man, the duties to expect before and during the big day. So let's see how I did. Help the groom choose wedding formal wear. Brendan sent an email, and we went with blue. And then Brendan took me shopping. Help arrange accommodations for out-of-town groomsmen. Well, I'll sneak you into Janet's Airbnb, I know the code. Organize the bachelor party, and believe me, it was an amazing party. A trip to Banfield for 3 days, to stay in a lodge, go fishing led by our family friend Kidman, also our basketball coach and a fishing guide. Many salmon were caught, and even a 74-pound halibut. I know, amazing. In attendance, Pat, Paul, Scott, Brendan, Jim, and I don't know who else because I wasn't there. Next one here. Provide emotional support. Patiently listen to the groom's complaints, confessions, and questions without any judgment. The best man will pat the groom on the back and keep him focused and his head in the game. We doing all right? All right. Keep the wedding ring safe. Got one. Thank you. Serve as a witness during the marriage license signing and give the officiant in a sealed envelope his or her fee after the ceremony, unless the officiant is a friend, in which case a handshake or a hug will suffice. Well, the officiant wasn't a friend, and I don't think we're gonna be after that hug that I gave her. Decorate the getaway car. I didn't realize they weren't leaving, so Brendan, that's not your muffler, that's a beer can tied to your bumper. After the speech, I'm gonna need my own getaway car. Is the roller coaster still open? Coordinate the groomsmen gift to the groom. Oh, hold on, I got something for you. Here's that sealed envelope I was supposed to give the officiant. There you go, right? A little something for me. And finally, make sure all the groom's wedding-related expenses are taken care of. In the event they haven't been paid, it is the best man who makes sure everything is settled. Hey Brendan, I'm gonna need that envelope back, man. So now, I think it's safe to say my new title is The Worst Man instead of The Best Man. It's alright, I'm kidding, it's alright. Thank you. Okay, so on a more serious note, I truly believe that there is one true love for everyone, your soulmate. Someone that you can't live without, and nothing in this world can separate them. And Brendan found this 31 years ago when he met me. My earliest memories I have are hanging out with Brendan and Siobhan, running around the seashell house and jumping on the trampoline. Brendan and I did everything together. We bathed together. When we learned how to pee standing up, we did that together. That was a fun game for a while. We even slept in the same single bed for a long time. And I mean, like, I was 20 and he was 18 when we got home from the bar. I didn't sleep. The guy snores like a freight train and I was worried I was going to get crushed the whole time. So Brendan and I became partners in crime at quite an early age. We would sneak into our grandparents' fridge, stealing Coffee Crisp chocolate bars and Freezies. Later in life, we were stealing the beer. One of our favorite games as children was waiting till our grandfather fell asleep in his favorite recliner. We would creep up, poke him in his silver dollar-sized Audi belly button, and he would jump out, call us little porkers, and I think he meant little bastards, but he was too kind for that. He would then chase us around the living room and hallway while we ran and screamed for our lives. This game then turned into who could pull the toothpick out of his mouth while he was asleep, a very dangerous game of a steady hand. As we got a little bit older, we started ripping around the seashell house on dirt bikes, pissing off the neighbors. We had some great camping trips in which Brendan would always eat too many hot dogs, too many marshmallows, and always be sick. Brendan was such a lover even when he was a toddler. Every time he would see me, he'd charge me like a bull, bear hug me, and tackle me into the ground. He was as strong as an ox even at 3 years old. One day our grandfather was sitting in his favorite spot in the carport of Seashell, doing his favorite activity, drinking a beer, smoking a big cigar. He watched Brendan rip around the yard and destroy absolutely everything in his path. He looked up at our older cousin and said, "Oh, I feel so bad for this boy. He's a goddamn bull in a china shop." But he reminds me of me. A perfect example of this is when the whole family was at our regular family restaurant, Bill Keys, a Chinese restaurant on Broadway. Brendan went to the bathroom and I think he tried to pull himself up on the sink. He managed to rip the whole thing off the wall, which caused a huge flood that went right into the kitchen. And oddly enough, the restaurant soon closed for good afterwards. So anyway, let's fast forward to the magical night that Brendan and Andrea met. It was a house party at Brendan's and his roommate's place off Main Street. The party was in full swing. All of a sudden, the most influential, generation-shaping song of 1996 starts playing on the radio. "Wannabe" by the Spice Girls. Andrea cranks it up and starts dancing. Then out of nowhere, a tall, dark, handsome man appears. He walks right towards Andrea, then right past her, and changes it to country music. Note for the DJ, we're probably gonna play "Wannabe" tonight. Anyway, this did not go over well, and I'm sure there was some harsh words exchanged. Later that evening, Andrea said to Brendan's roommate, and I quote, "Your roommate is an asshole." But I think I'm gonna make out with him later. Yes, it was a match made in heaven. They saw each other a few more times after that, but everyone knew that Andrew was going to Korea and they couldn't really start anything, so that seemed like the end of it all. They actually didn't talk for about 6 to 8 months till one night they both happened to be on their computers and noticed they were both online on Skype. They then had a conversation for 3 hours. They began making video chat dates, scheduling around the time change in Korea. And Andrea would often tell Brendan, like, you should come to Korea, you'd have a good time. Kind of half joking, like, yeah, like he's ever going to come out to Korea. But I remember this day well, when Brendan came up to me at work and said, "I'm quitting and I'm going to Korea." And I thought, what the hell is in Korea? I've never seen you drop everything and leave anything. But it was all about a girl. And then I knew something special was happening here, and I've never seen him act this way. When he came back, he was a changed man. I saw a new light in him. My cousin Brendan was completely in love. Even though Andrea was still going back and forth from Korea for a while, with a few visits, they still managed to make it work and stuck together. So Brendan, you are my cousin. Oh, I'm gonna start crying. But we both know that we're as close as brothers. I have always looked up to you, and not because you had towered over me since you were 12, but because you are driven and intelligent. You have the ability to do absolutely anything you've ever wanted to do. You became a great hockey player, a diesel mechanic like your father, and now your dream job as an engineer. And I know in the future you you will accomplish many more amazing things. I just hope that one day I can be half the man that you are today. I love you.